Third grade. So today we're continuing with our fractions. Happy Thursday. We're going to be working on making 6 and 8ths today. So yesterday we learned about halves, thirds, and fourths. So remember, halves is cut into 2, thirds is cut into 3, and fourths is cut into 4. So it's just kind of like what it sounds like. 3 thirds. It goes with 3 fourths, 4. The words go together. But now we're going to work on something a little more difficult, 6 and 8ths. So as you might know, 6 is dividing the shape into 6 equal parts. And we can see the word 6 right here. And 8ths is dividing the shape into 8 equal parts. And we can see the word 8 right here. So this is just an example. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're all equal parts. And you see they go from one point right across to the other point. It's not going from here to here. They're going straight across. Same with here. We have 8ths. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This shape is divided into 8 equal parts. And we can see when they make a line, it goes from here down to here, straight to the other side. And remember, equal parts means they're all going to be the same size, so they're equal. So now we're going to go over some difficult ones today because this might be where it gets a little tricky. So I put right up here, and if you want to take notes at home, write down 6 equals 6, 8ths equal 8. That's how many equal parts we're going to have. So now we're going to talk about cutting this square into 8ths, which means we have to cut this square, connect the dots into 8 equal parts. Okay, so for you will be connecting the lines, but I just made the lines over here so that I can just drag them. So it won't take as long. So I'm cutting this into 8ths. So I'm going to start from here and I'm going to connect it right across because that's what we want to do. So I'm connecting this line right across from this dot to this dot. So the dot on the opposite side. And I'm going to take this dot to this dot from the opposite side. And I'm going to take this dot to this dot from the opposite side. So now let's see how many equal parts I just made. I made 1, 2, 3, 4. I just made 4 equal parts. But we want 8 equal parts. So how can I make another line to double the amount of equal parts? Well, I'm actually going to cut this one across the other way, but I want to do it right in the middle. So I have to find which one is the middle dot. So if I go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, this third dot is in the middle, so I know here to here would cut it perfectly in half. So let's see if to this one, to the third one. Sorry, I did not make it diagonal correctly. Okay, so now I see I cut it into fourths first, and then I just cut right in half again. So now before I submit my answers, I'm going to double check. So I have 8ths. I need to make sure it's an 8 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now there's 8 equal parts, and I know it's equal because they're all the same size, and I know that when I connected my dots, it went from here to here to straight across, and here's right in the middle. I see I have 2 dots here, 2 dots here, and that's how I know it's cut right in the middle. So now we want to cut our octagon into 8 equal parts as well. We're cutting it into 8ths. So before we get intimidated, I know an octagon has a lot of sides, but the first thing I'm going to do is cut it right down the middle. So I just cut it into 2 equal parts. So 1 part, 2 part, and then I'm going to cut it again right across in the middle. And I can tell that it is the middle because I have 1, 2, 3 dots over here, 1, 2, 3 dots down here. So it's the same above and below. But that's only fourths. Now we have to cut it into 8ths. So I'm going to take it and draw it diagonally across. So as I can see here, I have 1, 2, 3 dots. I'm going to pick the middle dot, the third one to the middle one over here, the third one, or the one in the middle of the 3. So if I put it right here, I can see that now they're not equal. So what I do to one side, I have to do to the other side in order for them to remain equal parts. So again, it was the one in the middle to the one in the middle here. And now I cut it into eighths. So let's count to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 equal parts. And again, how can I double check that they're equal? Each part has a dot in the middle, so I know that they're all the same spacings. So again, it could look scary, but we are just practicing cutting in half, and then if we do the diagonal to one side, we do it to the other side as well. So now let's practice with 6. Okay, so again, I have my lines made up, so we are going to practice. Remember, 6 is cut into 6 equal parts. So for this first one, I have a hexagon. The first thing I'm going to do is just cut it right down the middle. Oops, I moved my line. Okay, so as you can see, now I have halves, but you're probably like, oh, we could go right down the middle this way too, but we're actually not going to do that. We're going to go diagonal because we only want 6 equal parts. And when we cut it down the middle and then do diagonal, we'll get 8 equal parts. So instead, I'm going to go straight with diagonal from this corner to this corner. They're opposites. So I'm going to put this here. And again, what I do to one side, I have to do to the other side to make sure that they're all equal parts. Because right now, this is bigger than this. So again, from this dot to this dot, I'm going to connect a line. And now what I did to one side, I did to other. Now they have equal parts. And my lines are a little crooked because they should meet up perfectly. In the middle, but I think that's as good as we're going to get. When you're connecting the lines on IXL or on paper, it'll look better. Mine is just pre-made lines, so let's pretend that they're connected to these dots. Because for some reason, I can't get it. But now let's double check that there's 6 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, I'm going to check that they're equal by saying they each have one dot over here, so they have the same surface. They have the same length here, so they are equal. So now I'm cutting a rectangle into 6. Again, 6 equal parts. I'm going to start by going here. 1, 2. So now it's cut into thirds. Oh, I don't know why these lines are difficult, but now it's cut perfectly into thirds, but I want to double that because I'm not working with thirds, I'm working with 6. So an easy way, if you can get to the thirds and then you want to do the 6 and it's a rectangle, I'm going to cut it in half this way perfectly, so that way I know they're equal parts. So here now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts, and I cut it into thirds first and then cut it down the middle. Again, there's going to be different ways. Just remember, as you're looking at it, make sure that you can tell that all the parts are equal. All right, and I will see you tomorrow. And it's Friday tomorrow. Bye, 3rd grade.